So today was a brew day. I'm just going to do a recap on the brew day. To follow all of this will be some still pictures, a little picture collage of the brew day itself. First off, I want to thank Finru for sending me those New Zealand hops. Without those, this day would not have been possible. What I brewed today is, well, it's supposed to be a dipple, a double India Pale Lager. It was set up to be an 8% ABV with 100 IBUs. I ended up having to brew inside today. It was too cold and didn't want to risk the propane kind of condensing down from the cold and not finishing out. So I didn't brew outside, brewed inside on the stove. So ended up having some boil off problems. So just to go through it real quick with the numbers on it. First off, I did a 90-minute mash, which helped my starting pre-boil gravity. Ended up coming out to a 1062. It was supposed to be at a 1060, so I was already up at no, it was a 1064. I'm sorry, it was supposed to be a 1062, so I was already up at that point, which pushed it probably a bit above what I was shooting for final ABV. With the brewing salts I used, I didn't have to use any lactic acid. Actually, in this one, hit spot on at a 5.2 pH with just the brewing salts and the grains. So that was a positive. And then, yeah, the brew day, went on, and due to the lack of power basically coming out of the stove, ended up with a bit more wort at the end than what I had originally had set up for my banjo burner outside. That would have had a greater boil going and boiled off a bit more, condensing the wort. So the starting original gravity, ended up coming to a 1072. So just depending on where this actually goes to during fermentation. Right now I have this beer, which I am calling Little Bitta Finru. I have that chilling right now, trying to get it down to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so I can pitch the yeast in. It is a Southern German lager yeast by White Labs that I'll be using for this. So we'll just see where it finally hits. It may not drop enough to bring it up to that 8%. So I'm looking at, it might be like a 7.5% or a little bit less, and making it not a double. It has to at least reach that 8% to be a double. And I'm hoping it does, because with the amount of hops, the 10.5 ounces worth of hops that I use from New Zealand, it's going to be a little more unbalanced if it's a lower ABV than what it already would have been. But I do have a little bit of the wort. This is from the final hydrometer reading to get my final gravity. A little bit of floaty stuff in there, but other than that, I mean, it's clear, and that's about the color. It might lighten up a little bit once it's final, but let's go ahead and smells sweet, and a little bit of grassy fruitiness going on right now, but let's go ahead and just give this a little taster. not bad. It actually seems pretty well balanced. So it's got a lot of sweetness to it. Don't really get the bitterness yet, but it will be there. Yeah, once this thing cleans up a bit with this lager, should be hopefully fairly good. And it's my second lager I've ever done, so got a little more information on how to do the temperatures with the lager. Before, I think I kind of kept it closer to an ale temperature, so it was more like a steam beer or something like that versus an actual lager. But anywho, I'm so glad that I have some Bissell Brothers swish left to wash some of that down with. But yeah, cheers guys, and hope you enjoy the stills of the Brewday.